So the doctor decided that we were going to do a cardiac massage on him. If you don't know what a cardiac massage is, that's when you cut someone's like side open and then you reach your hand inside their body and like manually pump their heart with your hand. But yeah, like I said, I reached my hand in his body and like started pumping his heart manually with my hand. To be honest, I don't know what you would like really expect the heart to feel like, but to me it felt somewhat like a water balloon. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Snacks coming back at y'all with another vid. Obviously, as you can tell by the story, this video is going to be on my experience working in the hospital and how that changed me as a person. Now, before we even get into the video, bro, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Only if you think I deserve it, though. But I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be a good story, so I really think I deserve it. Also, don't forget to share with any of your friends, especially if they work in the hospital as well. So, without further ado, my journey in the hospital started when I was about 18. I literally started working in the hospital fresh out of high school. And before that, I was working at Raising Cane's. I don't think Raising Cane's was a bad job by any means, but obviously Raising Cane's was kind of more of a starter job, a high school job. And to be quite honest, I learned a lot from working at Raising Cane's too, mainly about how I would never want to do it again. But on the real, Raising Cane's really taught me a lot about like how hard it is to actually work extremely hard for extremely little. I don't think it's a secret that fast food workers don't get paid very much, especially like a 16-year-old at the time. But again, it was pretty fun. I actually got all my friends to work there with me. Still don't know how I pulled that off. And yeah, it was extremely good character development. I actually remember once calling my mom and telling her, man, I know I have to go to school and I have to focus because I will never ever be stuck in a predicament where I had to do something like this for my career. More of an AC guy myself. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So I was able to start working in the hospital when I was about 18. My college actually had a career fair and all the like main hospitals around the area attended. And as I went to every booth, the hospital would like get you to put your name down, tell them some information about yourself. Honestly, I didn't really expect much to come out of it because I was so young. And when I was actually talking to the representatives of the hospital, most of them would be like, oh, wait till you're a junior, wait till you're a little older. So I wasn't really expecting anything to really come out of it. But to my surprise, a couple of days later, I got an email telling me that I could apply for this job and that I might be a good candidate. So of course I applied, still honestly not really expecting to get it, but just kind of doing it because why not? Fast forward even more time and obviously I ended up getting the job and I was pretty surprised about it. But what I was more surprised about was how much they said they were gonna pay me. I'm not gonna say exactly what I got paid, but I will tell you that it was definitely significantly more than what I made at Cane's, which kind of brought me to my first lesson from the hospital, which was that if you put in the work to get education or aim higher for different goals and different jobs, a lot of the time you will be able to get a lot more for a lot less. And what I mean by that is you'll be able to make a lot more money with a lot less effort. I don't think it's a secret that fast food work is actually like really, really hard. Like we worked our tails off. I came home sweating every day. And at my job now, I don't even think about sweating. Definitely a true blessing that I was able to get this job, not only for like pay and reasons, but just for the insight it gave me on life. I remember like when I first started in the hospital, I was like super scared to even like actually touch a person. And I know it's a sentiment that a lot of people have because you just think like anything you do, anything you take part in, it might go wrong, and just having somebody else's life or somebody else's treatment or well-being in your hands can be really intimidating to somebody who's definitely never done it before. Especially to somebody like me who had only up to this point fried chicken tenders. But obviously, like most people do, I was eventually able to get over the hump of the fear and I ended up being a pretty good worker. I remember the most shocking thing when I first started working at the hospital was like, dang, people really are unalived every day. And I know it's like common sense, like, yes, people obviously, pass away every day. But when you actually see it firsthand and you're talking to these people and you have connections with these people, it's like really eye-opening. Also, not just the fact that people are unalived every day, but just the like terrible situations they're in. It's a very common saying that like, never complain because somebody else has it worse than you out there. But I think you don't really realize how true that is until you like see how bad some people have it. That's why I always encourage people to like volunteer, see these like low income neighborhoods, volunteer in like the hospital, see the situations different people are going to. It's really, really eye-opening. And honestly, I don't think I'm the person that you see in front of you today if I don't go through a lot of those experiences and see a lot of the things that happened in the hospital. It would be people who are like the same age as me as well. If y'all don't know, I'm only 20 years old. So like to see people who are 20 or younger than me like pass away or just have these terrible conditions where they'll never have a normal life can be really like eye-opening. Honestly, I think I really like found my passion in the hospital, and that kind of changed me too. But honestly, I feel like that's probably a little bit more specific to people like me who actually have a passion for like healthcare and helping people. But nevertheless, it did make me realize the importance of doing something that you're passionate in. Obviously, I don't think many people in the world have much of a passion for doing something like frying chicken every day. But I will tell you that it's very fulfilling, even though my role in the hospital right now is very small. I'm actually an EKG tech. I was an ER tech too, but honestly, once school got a little bit too difficult, I kind of had to just stick to one job. But that's a story for a different day. But yeah, like I was saying, like just having a small difference in somebody's life really like means everything to me. So I'm happy to be able to like get up and go to work every day and just make just a real small difference, which honestly opened my eyes to knowing that I really feel like finding your passion and doing something you're passionate in is like probably one of the most important things you can do in life. It's so cliche to say something like, if you're doing something you love, you'll never feel like you're going to work a day in your life. But I really feel like that's so real. I've definitely experienced that feeling of like not dreading going to work, being excited when I wake up in the morning to go to work. Now, did I feel like that when I worked at Cane's? No, I definitely felt every one of those 6:30 wake ups. But now I even have to wake up even earlier to get to the hospital. I had to wake up at 5:30 to get there by 7. But I will tell you that I don't mind as much, only because I actually enjoy what I am doing. Before I talk about some of the crazy things I've seen in the hospital, I do again want to encourage you, no matter where you are in life, no matter what's going on in your life, please be thankful for what you're doing. I know, especially as a college student and having a lot of college friends, we do complain a lot about like, oh, why I have to do this assignment, or why do I have to study all day? But actually, one of my professors put it like in perfect terms. She said, people in college complain about having the ability to chase their dreams, while there are people who complain about not having the ability to chase their dreams. And honestly, being around people who would probably pray to be in the shoes that you're in, probably as a college student or whatever school that you're going to, chasing your dreams in some type of way, be thankful for that. All right, so now that y'all have heard about some of my experiences and how that changed me as a person, I wanted to tell y'all some of the craziest things I've seen in the hospital. Now, the absolute top craziest story I've ever had was probably in my time working in the ER. I worked in the ER for about a year, but like I said earlier, I kind of had to stop because I didn't really have enough time to do 2 jobs and go to school. So unfortunately, I had to let it go. But I did quite enjoy working in the ER. This particular case happened when there was a trauma with a car wreck. Obviously, car wrecks can be deadly and have the ability to injure someone pretty bad. Unfortunately, that's what happened in this case. So we got the code over the intercom that we were about to have a trauma, obviously, motor vehicle or accident. All the techs, including me, are going into the room to kind of prepare for the guy to come so we could, obviously try and save his life if possible. And when they bring him, I mean, obviously he's deformed. It's kind of crazy. I remember like the guy's face almost being smashed in, obviously he had some like cuts and wounds all over him. Things like this can be traumatizing to certain people. I do think it takes like a very special type of person to be able to take things like this. If I close my eyes even today, I could still see the exact scene. I could still see exactly what he looks like. Anyway, to make a long story short, obviously he was in bad shape. So the doctor decided that we were going to do a cardiac massage on him. If you don't know what a cardiac massage is, that's when you cut someone's like side open and then you reach your hand inside their body and like manually pump their heart with your hand. So obviously the doctor was doing it first and it was like crazy looking. I remember when they cut him open and it was like just a bunch of like blood that splattered on the floor. And up to that point, I had never seen anything like that. But to my surprise, after the doctor had pumped for maybe like a minute and a half, he looked at me and said, "Hey, I want you to do this next." So obviously I'm scared again, because I think at this point I was 19. And yeah, I have been working in a hospital for some time now, but nothing in the terms of like reaching in a person's body and pumping their heart with my hand. Somehow I was able to get my nerves together and I reached my arm in his body. It was crazy because I could actually feel like his diaphragm and like kind of like some of his ribs and stuff. Like some of his ribs were actually poking out. But yeah, like I said, I reached my hand in his body and like started pumping his heart manually with my hand. To be honest, I don't know what you would like really expect the heart to feel like, but to me it felt somewhat like a water balloon would be the best comparison that I could say. That was probably the craziest story that ever happened to me while I was working in the hospital. And it's actually funny because I remember like after we like came out the room, sadly he didn't make it. I was talking to the charge nurse and she was like, "Well, honestly, that's probably going to be the craziest day you ever have as a tech." Definitely not a common thing to happen to people like before they become a doctor at all. So honestly, sad situation of why I got to do it, but honestly was definitely lucky to be able to have the opportunity to do something like that. I still think about that like every day. Like I can't believe that I actually like reached in a person's body and grab their actual heart. That's insane. Again, like I said earlier, bro, I really feel like working in the hospital has changed me for the better. It has given me a lot of insight on life and on what I feel like I am truly called to do. I do encourage everybody who's watching this video, because I know everybody who watches this video is obviously not going to be called to be in the medical field, but I do encourage you to really find your passion and really find the thing that makes you happy. Heavy on the you, because I know a lot of people do things to, please their parents and do things that they think people won't be mad at them for doing. But again, you really have to put yourself first and find the thing that makes you happy. Even if that might be working at a fast food restaurant. You never know what it might be. Anyways, thanks for watching this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Honestly, at this point, if you got to this point in the video, again, it's criminal not to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Just hit like 2.6K. So we're growing slowly but surely, but every little like, every comment, every subscribe helps. And I appreciate everybody who takes the time out of their day to do that. Once again, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully I'll see you next time.